Ursula Burns was born in 1958 in the Bronx, New York. She grew up in a small apartment in a public housing project. Her mother was a single parent who worked tirelessly to provide for Ursula and her sister. Life was not easy, and every day presented new challenges. But from a very young age, Ursula understood the importance of education. Her mother often told her that learning could open doors that might otherwise remain closed, and Ursula took those words to heart. From the first day she walked into a classroom, she knew that her future depended on how hard she worked and how much she learned. She excelled in her studies and showed a natural curiosity for how things worked. She loved science and mathematics and spent hours reading books borrowed from the library and experimenting with ideas at home. Despite the many distractions of city life, Ursula stayed focused. She often watched her friends get into trouble or struggle to make ends meet, but she kept her eyes on her own path. She knew that her circumstances did not define her, and that with determination, she could change the course of her life. Ursula attended public schools in the Bronx, where she stood out as a bright and hard-working student. Her teachers recognized her potential and encouraged her to apply to specialized programs that would challenge her and give her access to better resources. Ursula embraced every opportunity. She spent extra hours in the library after school and asked questions that many adults would not even think to ask. She was fascinated by machines and wanted to understand how things were built, how they worked, and how they could be improved. She knew that if she wanted to make a difference in the world, she would need to study engineering, and that meant she had to excel in mathematics and science. Ursula was determined to succeed. She would often stay up late at night working on projects or reading textbooks that were far above her grade level. Her mother supported her by making sure she had a quiet place to study and encouraging her to never give up. Ursula learned early that perseverance was as important as intelligence. Every failure or setback was an opportunity to learn and grow. By the time she graduated from high school, Ursula was already thinking about college. She dreamed of studying engineering at a prestigious university. She knew that this would not be easy because her family did not have the financial means to pay for tuition or expensive materials, but she refused to let that stop her. Ursula applied to several schools and received a scholarship to the Polytechnic Institute of New York University. She was overjoyed. This was her chance to take the first major step toward breaking the cycle of poverty in her family. Ursula approached college with the same dedication and focus that had brought her this far. She understood that she was not only representing herself, but also her family and community. She took every class seriously and sought out mentors who could guide her in her studies. She joined clubs and organizations that allowed her to explore her interest in engineering and technology. Ursula faced many challenges in college. She had to balance coursework with part-time jobs to support herself. She often had to sacrifice social activities and sleep to complete assignments and study for exams, but she remained committed to her goal. She knew that every hour she spent working on her education was an investment in her future. Ursula graduated with a degree in mechanical engineering. She had accomplished something that few from her background had achieved. Her hard work and dedication had opened doors to a world of possibilities. She was determined to use her education not only to improve her life, but also to inspire and help others who faced similar obstacles. After graduating from the Polytechnic Institute of New York University, Ursula Burns entered the workforce with a clear sense of purpose. She joined Xerox in 1980 as a summer intern. This was her first step into a world that was vastly different from the one she had grown up in. She was now surrounded by professionals who had different backgrounds and experiences. Some were welcoming and supportive, while others doubted her abilities. But Ursula remained focused on her goals. She understood that she had to prove herself not only through hard work, but also through resilience and intelligence. Ursula approached her work with curiosity and determination. She asked questions, studied processes, and observed how the company operated. She was eager to learn and to find ways she could contribute meaningfully. She quickly realized that engineering was not just about understanding machines, but also about understanding people and how organizations functioned. She learned to navigate corporate structures and to communicate effectively with colleagues and managers. Ursula faced challenges as a young Black woman in a predominantly male and white industry, but she refused to be discouraged. She saw every obstacle as an opportunity to develop skills and demonstrate her competence. She volunteered for projects that others considered too difficult or time-consuming. She stayed late to ensure that her work was thorough and accurate. She was committed to excellence, and that dedication did not go unnoticed. As Ursula gained experience, she began to take on leadership roles. Within a few years, she was managing teams of engineers and overseeing significant projects. Her ability to combine technical knowledge with strategic thinking made her a valuable asset to Xerox. She earned the respect of her colleagues and supervisors through her work ethic and results. Ursula also understood the importance of mentorship. She sought guidance from experienced leaders within the company and also made an effort to mentor younger employees. She believed that success was not just about personal achievement, but also about helping others reach their potential. She encouraged women and minorities to pursue careers in engineering and technology and shared her own journey as an example of what was possible. Ursula continued her education by pursuing a master's degree in mechanical engineering at Columbia University. She balanced her studies with her growing responsibilities at work, demonstrating an extraordinary level of discipline and time management. Her dedication to learning never wavered. She understood that knowledge was power and that every skill she acquired could be leveraged to advance her career and impact the company. Ursula's rise through Xerox was steady and impressive. She took on increasingly complex roles and proved her ability to manage not only technical projects, but also large teams and critical business operations. She developed a reputation for solving problems that others thought were unsolvable. She combined analytical thinking with creativity and always kept the company's long-term success in mind. Ursula's leadership style was inclusive and empowering. She believed in listening to her team members, valuing their ideas, and fostering an environment where innovation could thrive. She understood that the best results came from collaboration and mutual respect. Ursula's journey was not without personal sacrifices. She often missed family events and had to navigate the stress of high expectations and demanding projects. Yet she remained focused on her mission to break barriers and to use her position to inspire others. Her story began to attract attention within the industry and beyond. People were inspired by her resilience, determination, and vision. Ursula was no longer just an engineer. She was a leader, a role model, and a symbol of what could be achieved through education, hard work, and unwavering commitment. As Ursula Burns continued to excel at Xerox, she began to take on even more significant responsibilities. Her career trajectory was remarkable, and she was determined to make the most of every opportunity. She moved into roles that combined both technical expertise and business strategy, demonstrating a rare ability to bridge the gap between engineering and corporate leadership. Ursula understood that to truly make an impact, she needed to master not only the technical aspects of her work, but also the complexities of management and organizational dynamics. She spent hours studying business strategies, analyzing market trends, and learning how large corporations operated. Ursula recognized that knowledge was the foundation for influence, and she was committed to learning everything she could about the business world. Her leadership skills became increasingly evident as she managed large teams and oversaw critical projects. She demonstrated the ability to inspire and motivate her colleagues. She encouraged creativity and innovation and always emphasized the importance of accountability and excellence. Ursula faced numerous challenges as she climbed the corporate ladder. She often encountered skepticism and bias because of her gender and race,
But she refused to let those obstacles define her. She used each challenge as an opportunity to prove herself and to demonstrate that competence and determination could overcome prejudice. She built strong relationships with mentors and allies who supported her growth and provided guidance. Ursula also made it a priority to give back. She mentored young women and minorities in the company, offering advice, encouragement, and guidance. She wanted others to see that success was possible, regardless of their background or circumstances. Ursula began to take on executive roles that allowed her to influence company policy and strategic direction. Her ability to combine technical knowledge with visionary leadership made her a candidate for the highest levels of management. She approached each new role with humility and focus, never losing sight of the journey that had brought her there. Ursula's work ethic was unmatched. She often arrived early and stayed late, working tirelessly to ensure that projects were completed to the highest standard. She was meticulous and detail-oriented, but also capable of seeing the big picture. She understood that effective leadership required both attention to detail and strategic thinking. Her reputation for excellence continued to grow, and she became known as a problem solver and innovator within the company. Ursula's rise was historic. In 2009, she was appointed CEO of Xerox, becoming the first Black woman to lead a Fortune 500 company. Her appointment was groundbreaking and symbolized a shift in corporate leadership. She took on the role with determination, humility, and a clear vision for the future. Ursula focused on transforming Xerox into a company that embraced innovation, efficiency, and inclusivity. She implemented strategies that improved performance and fostered a culture of respect, collaboration, and accountability. She continued to champion diversity within the company, ensuring that opportunities were available for women and minorities at all levels of the organization. Ursula's leadership extended beyond Xerox. She became a public figure representing the power of education, perseverance, and leadership. She spoke at conferences, universities, and events, sharing her story and encouraging young people to pursue their dreams. She emphasized that obstacles were not barriers if met with determination, learning, and resilience. Ursula's life was a testament to the idea that education and hard work could transform not only an individual's life, but also the lives of generations to come. She had broken the cycle of poverty in her family and created a legacy of inspiration and achievement. Her story demonstrated that with vision, focus, and courage, it was possible to rise above circumstances and create meaningful impact in the world. As Ursula Burns led Xerox, she faced unprecedented challenges in the corporate world. The global economy was changing rapidly, and the technology landscape was evolving at an extraordinary pace. She understood that in order to keep Xerox competitive, she would need to embrace innovation and encourage her teams to think creatively. She promoted research and development initiatives, invested in new technologies, and fostered a culture where employees felt empowered to share ideas. Ursula believed that leadership was not about asserting power, but about enabling others to succeed. She listened to her team, valued their insights, and encouraged collaboration across departments. She knew that the greatest solutions often came from the collective effort of diverse minds. Ursula's approach to leadership was informed by her own journey. She remembered what it felt like to be underestimated and overlooked, and she was determined to create an environment where everyone could thrive, regardless of their background. She implemented mentorship programs, promoted women and minority employees, and worked to break down systemic barriers within the organization. Her impact extended beyond Xerox as she became a role model for aspiring leaders across industries. People admired her ability to combine technical expertise, business acumen, and empathetic leadership. She was frequently invited to speak at conferences, universities, and international forums, sharing her insights on leadership, innovation, and diversity. Ursula's story resonated with many because it was not only about personal success, but about using influence to create positive change. She emphasized that education was a powerful tool that could transform lives and communities. She encouraged young people, especially girls and minorities, to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, highlighting that determination, hard work, and learning could overcome socioeconomic obstacles. Despite the demands of her role, Ursula remained grounded. She never forgot her roots or the struggles her family had endured. She often reflected on the sacrifices her mother had made to provide her with opportunities, and she drew strength from that memory. She knew that every achievement she had accomplished was built on years of perseverance, resilience, and dedication. Ursula faced difficult decisions and high-pressure situations, but she approached each challenge with clarity and focus. She analyzed problems thoroughly, considered all options, and made decisions that balanced immediate needs with long-term vision. Her leadership style was characterized by strategic thinking, decisiveness, and empathy. She understood that success was not measured solely by profits, but by the positive impact on employees, communities, and stakeholders. Ursula also continued to advocate for corporate social responsibility. She emphasized that companies had a duty to contribute to society and support initiatives that promoted education, equality, and innovation. She collaborated with organizations and foundations to provide scholarships, mentorship, and resources to underprivileged youth. Ursula's legacy was being built every day. She was not only leading a major corporation, but also shaping the narrative about what was possible for women and minorities in leadership. She had become a symbol of hope and possibility, demonstrating that with education, determination, and resilience, it was possible to overcome systemic challenges and achieve extraordinary success. Ursula's story inspired countless individuals to believe in themselves, to pursue their dreams, and to work tirelessly to break cycles of poverty and limitation. Her journey from a small apartment in the Bronx to the boardroom of a Fortune 500 company exemplified the transformative power of education, hard work, and leadership.
Ursula Burns' journey continued to inspire as she led Xerox through a period of transformation. She understood that leadership was about more than personal achievement. It was about creating opportunities for others and ensuring that the organization could thrive in a rapidly changing world. She prioritized innovation and encouraged her teams to challenge conventional thinking. Ursula believed that true progress required embracing risk and experimentation. She fostered a culture where failure was seen as a learning opportunity and where employees were empowered to think creatively and push boundaries. Ursula's commitment to education and mentorship extended beyond corporate walls. She frequently visited schools, universities, and community centers, sharing her story and encouraging young people to pursue their dreams. She emphasized that obstacles could be overcome through determination, perseverance, and continuous learning. She encouraged students to study science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and to believe in their potential regardless of their socioeconomic background. Ursula also focused on expanding diversity and inclusion within Xerox. She implemented programs to recruit, train, and retain women and minorities in technical and leadership roles. She believed that diverse perspectives were essential for innovation and problem-solving. Her efforts created a more equitable work environment and set an example for other corporations to follow. Ursula's leadership style was characterized by humility, empathy, and strategic vision. She listened attentively to her colleagues, sought feedback, and made decisions that balanced immediate needs with long-term goals. She understood that leadership was not about asserting authority, but about inspiring trust and empowering others to excel. Ursula faced immense pressure as CEO of a Fortune 500 company. She had to navigate complex business challenges, manage stakeholder expectations, and make critical decisions that affected thousands of employees. Yet she approached each challenge with focus, resilience, and clarity of purpose. Her commitment to transforming Xerox into a company that valued innovation, efficiency, and inclusivity remained central to her message.
She often shared how her upbringing in the Bronx and the sacrifices of her mother shaped her values, work ethic, and determination. She wanted others to understand that circumstances did not define one's potential, and that education and hard work could create life-changing opportunities. Ursula continued to mentor future leaders. She believed that her greatest legacy would be the people she helped guide and inspire. She invested time in developing talent within the company and beyond, ensuring that the next generation of leaders would be equipped to overcome obstacles and create meaningful impact. Her influence extended beyond business. Ursula served on boards and committees, advocating for education, innovation, and social responsibility. She collaborated with organizations to provide scholarships, mentorship programs, and resources for underprivileged communities. She understood that giving back was a responsibility and a way to amplify the impact of her success. Ursula's journey demonstrated that breaking cycles of generational poverty required vision, determination, and relentless commitment. She transformed not only her own life, but also the lives of countless individuals who looked to her as a role model. Her story was a powerful reminder that education was a tool for empowerment and that leadership could be exercised with integrity, empathy, and courage. Ursula Burns had become a symbol of possibility, proving that with perseverance, focus, and unwavering belief in oneself, it was possible to rise above limitations, achieve extraordinary success, and inspire others to do the same.
Ursula Burns' career reached unprecedented heights as she solidified her legacy at Xerox. She had become a leader whose influence extended far beyond the company walls. She understood that breaking generational poverty and achieving success required more than personal ambition. It required the ability to inspire, guide, and uplift others. Ursula remained deeply committed to education and mentorship. She believed that knowledge was the key to unlocking potential and that empowering others through learning was one of the most important responsibilities of a leader. She frequently spoke at universities, conferences, and public events, sharing her journey from a small apartment in the Bronx to the boardroom of a Fortune 500 company. Her story resonated with countless individuals, especially women and minorities who faced systemic barriers. She demonstrated that perseverance, determination, and education could transform lives. Ursula continued to innovate at Xerox. She championed research and development initiatives, explored emerging technologies, and implemented strategies to ensure that the company remained competitive in a rapidly changing market. She encouraged her teams to think boldly and creatively, to experiment, and to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. She fostered an environment where collaboration was valued and where employees felt empowered to contribute ideas. Ursula also emphasized the importance of corporate social responsibility. She believed that successful companies had an obligation to give back to the communities that supported them. She partnered with organizations to provide scholarships, mentorship programs, and resources for underprivileged youth. She wanted to ensure that the next generation had access to opportunities that could change their lives. Ursula faced personal and professional challenges, but she approached each with resilience and focus. She navigated complex business decisions, managed large teams, and balanced the expectations of stakeholders, all while maintaining her commitment to mentorship and advocacy. Her ability to lead with empathy and integrity set her apart and earned her respect from colleagues, competitors, and the wider business community. Ursula continued to serve as a role model, demonstrating that leadership was about vision, courage, and the ability to empower others. She inspired countless individuals to pursue careers in engineering, technology, and business, showing that obstacles could be overcome through hard work, determination, and continuous learning. She also highlighted the importance of giving back, sharing that true success was measured not only by personal achievements, but by the positive impact one had on others. Ursula's life was a testament to the transformative power of education and leadership.
She demonstrated that with vision, focus, and unwavering commitment, it was possible to rise above circumstances, inspire change, and leave a lasting legacy. Her journey from the Bronx to the highest echelons of corporate America proved that determination, resilience, and education could create a ripple effect, empowering generations to come.
Ursula Burns' journey reached its culmination as she solidified her legacy and reflected on a life transformed by education, determination, and resilience. She had risen from humble beginnings in a small apartment in the Bronx to lead one of the largest corporations in the world. Her story was a testament to the power of hard work, perseverance, and the belief that circumstances did not define potential. Throughout her life, Ursula had faced challenges that might have discouraged many. She encountered financial struggles, systemic bias, and societal expectations that sought to limit her ambitions. Yet, she approached each obstacle with focus, courage, and unwavering determination. She embraced education as the foundation for change, recognizing that knowledge could open doors and create opportunities that would otherwise remain closed. From her early years, Ursula had understood the importance of setting goals and working relentlessly to achieve them. She excelled in school, demonstrating curiosity, intellectual rigor, and a commitment to learning that would carry her through college and into her professional career. Her achievements in engineering and management were the result of countless hours of study, practice, and reflection. Each milestone she reached was built on a foundation of discipline, perseverance, and a refusal to be defined by limitations. Ursula's career at Xerox was remarkable not only for her professional accomplishments, but also for the way she led with vision, empathy, and integrity. She transformed the company by championing innovation, promoting diversity and inclusion, and creating a culture where employees felt empowered to contribute their best ideas. She demonstrated that leadership was about enabling others to succeed, and that true impact came from inspiring teams to achieve beyond what they thought possible. Ursula's influence extended far beyond the walls of the corporation. She became a mentor, role model, and advocate, inspiring young people, especially women and minorities, to pursue careers in engineering, technology, and business. She shared her story openly, emphasizing that obstacles could be overcome through education, hard work, and determination. She highlighted that success was not measured solely by personal achievements, but also by the positive impact one could have on others. Ursula also dedicated herself to giving back. She partnered with organizations to provide scholarships, mentorship, and resources to underprivileged communities. She understood that breaking cycles of generational poverty required both personal effort and systemic support. Her commitment to social responsibility ensured that her success created opportunities for future generations. Ursula's life was a demonstration of the ripple effect of perseverance, education, and empowerment. She had broken the cycle of poverty in her own family and created a legacy that would inspire countless individuals to pursue their dreams. She proved that leadership was not about status or recognition, but about influence, purpose, and the ability to transform lives. Through her journey, Ursula taught that resilience was key to overcoming adversity, that education was a tool for empowerment, and that true leadership required empathy, courage, and vision. Her story illustrated that anyone, regardless of their background, could achieve extraordinary success and use their accomplishments to lift others. Ursula Burns remains a symbol of possibility and hope. Her life exemplifies that with focus, determination, and unwavering belief in oneself, obstacles can be transformed into opportunities, challenges into growth, and dreams into reality. Her legacy continues to inspire generations to break barriers, pursue education and leadership, and create a lasting impact on the world.